Welcome back.
Right, at least 5 people are now dead after demonstrations broke out across Kenya on Wednesday, and tensions remain high in the country following rumors of election fraud in Tuesday's presidential election.
Winifred Ajewole has more.
Fresh protests broke out in parts of Kenya on Wednesday after opposition leader Raila Odinga published his own party's assessment of accounts from Tuesday's presidential election. Provisional figures on the Election Commission website gave Uhuru Kenyatta a healthy lead, but Odinga's figures published on his Twitter feed said Kenyatta only had 7.2 million votes against his 8.1 million votes. The polls clearly showed Kenyatta was ahead with 54.8% as against the 44.3% which Odinga is rejecting. According to him, hackers broke into the Election Commission computer systems and database overnight and changed the figures.
What the IBC has posted as results on the presidential elections is a complete fraud based on a multiplier that fraudulently gave Uhuru Kenyatta votes that were not cast. The electoral fraud and fabrication of results was massive and extensive to the extent that the results of the 47 counties were manipulated. And as I've said, you have uncovered the fraud. Uhuru must go home. The IBC must be fully accountable. The will of the people is unstoppable.
While protesters burned tires and chanted, "Uhuru must go," in a slum in Nairobi, the police fired tear gas to disperse the protesters in Kisumu, a stronghold of Raila Odinga, as they chanted, "No Raila, no peace."
As people of NASA, as followers of Raila Odinga, if it is worse, we must have 2 presidents in Kenya. We must have 2 presidents. We cannot be out of the government 10 years illegally. We are going to have 2 presidents. You must know that. If like or don't like it, we will have 2 presidents.
Although election observers have declared the Kenya polls free and fair, the opposition is crying foul.
We have seen, very aggressive social media activity.
The country's acting interior minister has now threatened to take action against social media users spreading information that might endanger the national security. Winifred Ajewole, TVC News.
Now we have TVC News senior researcher Cyril Abaku joining us now to analyze the situation in Kenya at this time. Welcome, Cyril. Recall we discussed here in the studio that the outcome of the Kenya election wouldn't be about the winner, but about how the loser would, take the defeat.
Yeah, and again, to add to that is the fact that somehow, since we are not insinuating a winner yet or a loser.
They've altered the counting.
Yes, but I think that with 97% of the votes brought together, apparently President Kenyatta has established what might appear to be an unassailable lead. And so what I think we're heading into is, I don't see 3% of what is going to come in to change anything significant. There are 3 stages in this process. There is the Form 34A taken from the polling stations. Then there is the Form 34B, where they collect from the polling stations in the constituencies. And then there is the Form 34C, which eventually is used to announce the results. What we need in Kenya at the moment is a containment strategy. Because clearly, whether we want to shy away from it or not, there is an apparent winner and there is an apparent loser. But
the security officials are making a mistake already, according to analysts, because they shot protesters dead.
Well, is it really a mistake? Because the police chief said they were burning and looting. And all of these things are happening in Odinga's strongholds. I think we need to be careful, because much of the media attention has been is now focusing on what he is saying, and what he is saying might be causing. Okay, somehow, like you saw what they said just now, Uhuru must go. Well, with results coming in and with what we are seeing, first it was the allegation of the system is being hacked. But with what we have on the ground, Even the foreign observer mission led by John Kerry has said that with what they've seen on the ground after about 1 hour of going through how the whole system operates,
that it was a free and fair election.
Yes, even the claim that Chris Msandu was killed in order to obtain his password to infiltrate the system, we understand now that the quality control around the KEMS, that is the Kenya integrated election management systems, the gadgets being used for the elections produced by Morpho in France, you know, is sort of watertight. And that passwords are changed frequently. So even if someone was alive, maybe within a week or within days, they regularly change these things.
So obviously it is not yet Uhuru in Kenya.
Technically,
it is not
but
yet Uhuru.
Ordinarily.
But what is it about Kenya really that, you know, causes protests every election year?
Well,
why is it difficult for the loser to accept the results of the election and just allow peace to reign?
That's because the loser believes that he didn't lose fairly. Look, let's be frank about it. In 2007, tallying was still ongoing when the election management body came up abruptly to announce that Mwai Kibaki had won.
Had won, indeed.
Yes, and so Raila Odinga said, "Oh, you supporters of mine, go out on the streets and demonstrate. We need to take back this country from those who are," you know, so, and that happened, and then it led to all the crises and the killings that took place. But in 2013, it was more or less a fair contest, okay? The margin with which Uhuru Kenyatta beat Raila was just about 8 points.
Well, the computerized system then in 2013 failed, and so he said there was opportunity for them to rig and everything.
Look, what is going on now is a reverse of what happened in 2013. We understand now that because of the failure of those machines, this year, when the IEBC said that they were going to depend, that you know, that they were going to use manual procedures should the electronic voting system fail. Raila Odinga went to court. He went to the court of appeal and said that they should stick with the electronic voting systems, okay? But somehow along the line, they came up with what we have now, so that in the end, the forms that come with which they do the tallying is what is going to eventually validate whatever results that are going to come out from the...
And we may not know the results until after 5 days after the election. Now, the 5-day window that it takes to get the exact results of the election, is that in itself not, you know, a source of tension for a society like Kenya?
Orderly shouldn't be, because you see, whatever the Electoral Commission is going to release at the Boma Center, you know, there in Nairobi, is what the individual party agents at the polling units would have signed off on. So if there are discrepancies, the parties are going to also bring up what they signed. I believe they should have copies of what they signed, okay, duplicates of what they signed, and say, okay, from what you're bringing and what we have here, these are the discrepancies. Raila Odinga is claiming that he won the election by 8 point something million, and that Uhuru Kenyatta trailed him by 7 point something. So, but with what they're getting officially, it appears that Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta has opened a gap of about 1.4 million. Now, the fact is that the current system that is in place was what Odinga fought to achieve as a means of ensuring transparency. But apparently,
a day before the election, he came out to say that plans are already perfected for rigging. And
apparently, I think it's working against him.
And you have the Rights Commission in Kenya too, questioning the process of vote tally, confirming Raila Odinga's fears.
Well, the Rights Commission spoke about 2 days ago. And for some of us who are watchers of events in Kenya, we know that that commission has antecedents of being an anti-establishment, or, you know, of being a non-aligned establishment. So it's predictable to know what
does that rubbish what the statement from that institution?
Well, now you see, Raila Odinga himself, for instance, has said that he obtained election result logs from the IEBC website. I don't know how. And the commissioner said that those things he's parading are fake. So I don't see how he himself, since he said he cannot publicly tell us how he got the sources that enable him to, yes. So it's difficult to understand how that does not itself amount to some sort of illegality. I don't understand Kenyan law in total. But if you are saying that you obtain those your own figures and numbers from the IEBC. And they are saying that those things are fake.
And even IEBC is saying that he should come down to the office to check the
and
forms.
cross-check, okay? What they did this year was to say they split the constituency into 6 and then said each of the parties should have a representative for each of these 6 constituencies. So whatever is happening at the IEBC headquarters is not happening at the instance of the IEBC alone. It is happening at the instance of the IEBC and representatives of all the contestants. Now I think there are about 8. And I still wonder why, even if we understand that what they garnered in total was 0.3% of the total vote cast, at least they should also have a voice in saying...
It's the 4th time that Raila Odinga will be running for presidency.
Yes.
Is he desperate and is he ready to do anything just to clinch the presidency? Is that what is playing out here?
Well, if Odinga loses, as I've said before, it will be a very personal loss. You know, Nana Akufo-Addo did it in Ghana. Buhari did it in Nigeria. It's been a long walk to power. And at 72, if he loses this year, chances are that, you know, he may not be able to. And again, you see, the coalition, the other time it was called. Okay, now it is NASA. Even
Super Alliance.
Yes, the
National
Super Alliance.
Alliance.
What Odinga has done for Kenya, okay, is quite monumental in terms of an opposition figure. He's been able to put a check to some of the excesses of the ruling party in the counties and at the center, okay? His image, his voice has been resounding in terms of bringing government to account to a certain extent.
And he's very popular among the poor and you know...
I would even say ubiquitous.
And the youth.
I would even say ubiquitous because Odinga comes from Kibera, which is not just a slum on its own. It's one of the worst slums in the world. And so he represents that face of hope.
Yeah, he was the advocate for
that
years.
face of of a deliverer and of a savior. But in the end, to answer your question very directly, in the end, Odinga's loss will not just be a loss for himself. You know, as we all know, his father was rival to Uhuru Kenyatta's father. Somehow, maybe what his father couldn't do, we would expect that he would have been able to achieve it. But with what we have now, with the gap that Uhuru has already opened, and with the international observers
saying,
validating
putting their seal on this one,
what has happened,
yeah.
I think that what we need to see in the days to come is a proper containment strategy that is going to, if they need to go back to what happened in 2007 to have some kind of power sharing system or whatever, that's left to them in Kenya.
But then
somehow
the statements that come out at this time from the mouths of the 2 leaders, the president and of course the major contender, is very important to unite the people again and not let them go the way of the past.
All right,
Thank you very much for your
Abako.
analysis, Cyril Abako, researcher, senior researcher of TVC News. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We hope the next time we're here to talk about this, it will be Uhuru in Kenya.
Yeah.